You were not born to be average. You were not created to blend in. Deep down inside, every single one of us is a warrior, a fighter, a conqueror, a resilient force that's just waiting to be activated. But the truth is, many of us walk around with our heads down, our spirits broken, living like sheep when we were born lions. You gotta unleash that warrior within. Life is not gonna hand you success. It's not gonna roll out a red carpet for your dreams. Life is going to test you. It's going to push you, bruise you, break you, but it's not to destroy you. It's to reveal the warrior you are. You got to stop running from the pain. Stop hiding from the struggle. Warriors are not made in comfort. Warriors are forged in fire. When you wake up in the morning, don't look for excuses. Look for battle. Wake up ready to fight for your dreams, your family, your destiny. Don't let weakness whisper in your ear. Don't let fear dictate your direction. Warriors feel fear, but they move anyway. They fight anyway. They rise anyway. You're not too broken. You're not too late. You haven't lost too much. The warrior within you is undefeated. If you're willing to let it out, it's time to rise. It's time to grind like your life depends on. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. You've got to believe in you. The world needs your fire. Your family needs your strength. Your purpose needs your fight. So today, I challenge you, unleash the warrior within. Stop playing small. Stand tall. Stand tall. Roar louder. Work harder. Love deeper. And never back down. You are the warrior. The time is now. Let's go. You're already equipped. That's the truth you've been avoiding. The reality you've been blind to while you keep looking outside yourself for answers. The world has conditioned you to believe that you need more. More time, more talent, more money, more support. But I came to tell you today you don't need more of anything outside. Everything you need to win, to succeed, to overcome, to become, it's already in you. You just got to tap into it. You've got to stop looking out the window and start looking in the mirror. Too many of us are walking around like we're missing something. Like we're one lucky break, one special connection, one piece of information away from greatness. But that's the lie. The enemy wants you distracted. He wants you doubting yourself, playing small, sitting in silence when you were born to speak up. He wants you to keep scrolling on your phone, comparing your life to others, instead of recognizing the power that's already living inside you. You're not missing anything. You are not inadequate. You are not unqualified. You are not too late. You've been equipped for this from day one. You were born with gifts, born with grit, born with a purpose that no one else on this planet can fulfill. But the problem is you buried it. You buried it under fear, under trauma, under other people's opinions. You spent so much time trying to be accepted, trying to fit in, trying to avoid failure, that you forgot who you are. But deep down, deep down, something's been whispering to you, reminding you that you're made for more, that you're not just a bystander in this world, that you're a warrior, a builder, a light, and you don't need anybody's permission to unleash that. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you bet on yourself? When's the last time you stepped into the ring knowing that the odds were stacked against you, but you still showed up swinging? See, most people don't lose because they aren't capable. They lose because they never started. They never activated the strength already in them. They never said, I got this, I'm enough. And because of that, they gave up before the fight even started. That's not you. You didn't come this far to stop now. You didn't survive everything you've survived just to settle. There's more for you and it's already inside. The truth is, the reason you feel stuck is because you're not using your gift. You're not operating at your capacity. You're trying to fit into a system that was never built for someone like you. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to thrive. But thriving takes belief. Thriving takes intention. Thriving takes courage. And it all starts with understanding that you don't need to wait to be ready. You're already equipped. You're already ready. Stop asking for another sign. Stop waiting for somebody to show up and push you. You gotta push yourself. When I say you're already equipped, I'm not saying you know everything. I'm not saying you've mastered the journey, but I am saying you've got what it takes to start. You got the vision, you got the hunger. You got the hunger. You've got the scars, and those scars are proof that you can handle the pain. So don't wait until everything feels perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Start where you are with what you got. Speak even if your voice shakes. Lead even if you feel scared. Work even if you feel weak. You weak. The warrior inside you doesn't need a perfect moment. It creates the moment through action. There's a reason why you've been through what you've been through. There's a reason you didn't break. A reason you didn't quit. And that reason is because you've been equipped with something stronger than excuses, stronger than doubt, stronger than pain. You've been equipped with resilience, with vision, with the fire that cannot be extinguished. But here's the thing, fire can die out if it's not fed. You've got to feed your fire. You got to fuel it with faith, with action, with purpose. Because if you don't, the world will smother it. Life will drain it. But you got to protect that flame. Look, life is going to throw everything at you. It's going to test your will, shake your plans, and try to convince you that you're not enough. But in those moments, you got to remind yourself, I'm equipped for this. I've been here before. I've climbed out of holes darker than this. I fought through battles tougher than this. I've cried, but I didn't quit. I bled, but I didn't break. You got to stop waiting for someone else to give you strength. You are your strength. Your pain didn't come to destroy you. It came to awaken you, to remind you of what you carry inside. Everything you admire in others is because it reflects something already in you. You don't admire courage unless you have the seed of it. You don't crave leadership unless you were born with the heart of one. You don't desire impact unless your soul knows you're meant to make it. You're already equipped. You just haven't activated it yet. And the only way to activate it is to move, to go, to walk by faith, not sight, to build before you're ready, to speak before the words are perfect. The moment you stop second guessing and start stepping, that's when the word wakes up. And don't get it twisted, you will fall. You will mess up. You will have moments when you question everything, but don't confuse failure with finality. The warrior in you knows that setbacks are setups. The warrior in you understands that defeat is part of the journey, not the end of it. So don't let your mistakes define you. Let them refine you. Let them sharpen you. Because the more you fall and get back up, the more unstoppable you become. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. You're already equipped. You got the voice. You've got the vision. You've got the value. You just have to use it. Don't keep it locked away. Don't hide your light. Don't pretend to be less than you are to make others comfortable. The world doesn't need more people who play it safe. It needs warriors who are bold enough to believe in what they carry, who are brave enough to act on it, who are willing to go all in. So today, make the decision. No more waiting. No more hiding. No more excuses. Everything you need is in you. Everything you dream is within reach. And the power to get there, it starts with believing that you are and have always been equipped for this. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's where your growth lives. That's where the breakthrough is. That's where transformation begins. See, everybody wants to change, but nobody wants to feel the pressure that change demands. Everyone wants the results, but not the resistance. But the truth is, comfort is the enemy of progress. The longer you stay in comfort, the more you stay stuck in the same place. The people you admire, the ones who have leveled up, they didn't get there by avoiding discomfort. They embraced it. They welcomed it. They sat in it until it shaped them into something stronger. You have to understand that discomfort is not your enemy. It's not something to fear or escape. It's a signal. It's a sign that you're stretching, evolving, moving into the next version of yourself. And if you're going to unleash the warrior within, you've got to get used to walking into rooms where you feel small, where you don't have all the answers, where the stakes are high and the outcome isn't guaranteed. Because it's in those rooms, in those moments, that you become someone new. Growth only happens when you're uncomfortable. That workout that makes your muscles burn, that's growth. That conversation that forces you to be honest, that's growth. That risk that makes your heart race, that's growth. But what do most people do? They run from it. They avoid it. They stay where it's easy, where it's predictable. And then they wonder why their life doesn't change, why they feel stuck, why the same problems keep showing up year after year. It's because they make comfort their home instead of using discomfort as a tool. Listen to me. Everything you want is on the other side of uncomfortable. That body you dream about, it's on the other side of pain. That business you want to build, it's on the other side of fear. That dream you keep pushing back, it's sitting in a land of uncertainty, waiting for you to take a step. But you gotta be willing to cross the bridge of discomfort to get there. You gotta do what others won't. You gotta sit with failure and learn from it. You gotta be the one who gets up early, who stays up late, who does the hard things when no one's watching. That's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. The ones who win are always the smartest, the most talented, or the most lucky. They're just the ones who made peace with being uncomfortable. They're the ones who said, I don't care how hard it gets, I'm not backing down, I'm not backing down. They're the ones who showed up when they didn't feel like it, who spoke up even when their voice shook, who kept walking when their legs were tired. That's what a warrior does. A warrior doesn't wait for perfect conditions. A warrior trains in the storm so they can perform in the battle. You've got to change the way you see discomfort. Stop treating it like punishment. Start seeing it as preparation. Discomfort is how the universe stretches your capacity. It's how you're molded. It's how you're equipped to handle the weight of your calling. You say you want success. Well, success requires sacrifice. You say you want greatness. Greatness requires grinding through the nights when no one's clapping for you. You say you want freedom. Freedom requires discipline. And all of that is uncomfortable. You gotta be willing to be misunderstood, to be criticized, to be laughed at, to walk away from the crowd because the crowd stays in comfort. The crowd does what's easy. You're not part of the crowd. You're a warrior, and warriors do what's hard. Warriors stand up when others sit down, when others sit down. Warriors step forward when others shrink back. Warriors are not defined by how they feel. They're defined by how they fight. So when it gets hard, you don't quit. You don't run. You lean in, you breathe through it. You remind yourself, this is where I grow. And yes, it's going to hurt sometimes. You're going to feel stretched beyond your limits. You're going to want to go back to what's familiar. Can't go back. You've already seen too much. You've already come too far. You've already endured too much to turn around now. You didn't go through the fire just to retreat when it gets hot. You went through it to become fireproof. You went through it so you could lead others through their own battles. And none of that happens in comfort. Growth doesn't ask for permission. It shows up in your life as challenge, as pressure, as discomfort, and it demands a response. So what are you gonna do? Are you going to resist it? Or are you going to rise? Are you going to let fear make your decisions? Or are you going to move in spite of it? That's the test. Not how well you do when it's easy. Not how confident you are when everything's going right. The real test is what you do when everything feels off, when nothing makes sense, when you're tired, uncertain, and afraid, and you still show up. That's what builds character. That's what builds confidence. That's what builds champions. Every time you step into discomfort and come out the other side, you prove to yourself that you're capable, that you're resilient, that you got what it takes. And the more you do it, the less scary it becomes. Not because the discomfort goes away, but because you become stronger. You start to realize, I've been here before. I survived this before. I grew from this before. And that mindset, that grit, it becomes your superpower. There are people waiting for the comfortable moment to start chasing their dream, waiting for the perfect conditions to take the leap. But you're not going to wait. You're going to act now. You're going to feel the fear and do it anyway because you understand that greatness is not born in easy moments. It's built in the fire. It's born when your back is against the wall and you choose to fight. Choose to fight. It's born when everything inside you wants to quit and you choose to push forward anyway. You've got to build a new relationship with discomfort. Invite it. Lean into it. Wake up every day and challenge yourself to do something hard, something that stretches your soul. Read when you rather scroll. Speak when you rather stay silent. Run when you'd rather walk. Show up when you'd rather sleep in. Train your mind to love resistance. Because once you do that, there's no limit to what you can become. So if you're uncomfortable right now, good. It means you're growing. It means you're shedding the old version of you. It means you're stepping into something new. Don't retreat. Don't resist it. Embrace it. Because the warrior within you is being forged through that pressure. And one day, you'll look back at these uncomfortable moments and realize they were the very moments that built you. Fear is always going to be there. It doesn't go away just because you want it to. It doesn't disappear when you get more experience or more confidence or more success. It simply changes forms. One day, it's fear of failure. Another day, it's fear of success. Then it becomes fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of starting over, fear of not being good enough. But no matter what form it takes, fear has one goal: to stop you from moving forward, to freeze you in place, to silence your voice and shrink your vision. That's why if you're gonna live the life you were born to live, you've gotta learn to move through fear, not around it. Most people are waiting for the fear to go away before they take the leap. They think they'll act when they feel ready. But let me tell you, that day rarely comes. If you're waiting for fear to vanish before you start, you'll be stuck in the same spot 5 years from now, because fear doesn't leave. You have to leave fear behind. You have to outgrow it. You have to outgrow it, one step at a time. That's what courage is. Not the absence of fear, but action in the presence of it. We're all scared. Scared of being seen and not being accepted. Scared of showing up and not being enough. Scared of putting in the work and still coming up short. But that fear is not proof that you're weak. It's proof that you're human. And it's also proof that something important is on the other side. You don't feel fear about things that don't matter. You feel fear when your soul recognizes you're close to growth, close to purpose, close to destiny. That's why fear shows up loudest right before you're about to step into something powerful, right before a breakthrough, right before a transformation. But here's what I need you to understand. Fear is a liar. It whispers stories that aren't true. It tells you you're not ready, even though you've already survived worse. It tells you you'll fail, even though failure is just feedback. It tells you people will laugh, even though most of them are too busy battling their own fears to even notice you and even notice you. And yet so many of us give our power to fear. We listen to it. We trust it. We let it steer our lives like it's the truth. But it's not true. It's resistance. It's the barrier between the life you have. You were made for it. Think about all the times you let fear win. All the moments you said no when your heart was screaming, yeah. All the dreams you shelled because fear told you it wasn't the right time. All the ideas you kept inside because fear said they wouldn't work. What if you had moved anyway? What if you had acted anyway? Where would you be today if you had learned earlier that fear is just a feeling, not a fact? Fear will always knock, but you don't have to answer the door. Or better yet, answer the door and look fear in the eyes and say, we're not in control here. You're the one who decides. You're the one who chooses whether to believe the fear or challenge it, whether to shrink or to step forward, whether to stay in the shadows or to stand in the light. You have the power, not fear. The moment you realize that, you begin to reclaim your life. You want to start the business, but fear tells you you're not qualified. Start it anyway. You want to speak on stage, but fear says you'll mess up. Speak anyway. You want to leave that toxic relationship, but fear says you'll be alone. Leave anyway. You want to go back to school, pursue that passion, make that move, but fear has you paralyzed. Move anyway. That's what separates those who make an impact from those who don't. They act in spite of fear. You don't need to eliminate fear. You need to befriend it. Let fear ride in the car, but don't give it the keys. Don't let it drive. Don't let it drive. Don't let it dictate your direction. Let it be a signal that something big is on the other side. Let it fuel your faith. Let it wake you up. Because if you're not scared, you're probably not dreaming big enough. If you're not uncomfortable, you're probably not growing. If you're not facing fear, you're probably not pushing the limits of your potential. Every successful person you admire, they face fear. The only difference is they didn't let it stop them. They felt it and they moved anyway. They failed and they got back up. They were afraid of being seen, but they showed up fully. They were afraid of losing, but they risked it all. And that's why they won. That's why they became who they are. And you can too, because that same courage is inside of you. It's just buried under years of fear-based thinking. But it's not gone. It's not lost. It's waiting for you to activate it. Fear doesn't go away, but your mindset can change. You can stop seeing fear as a stop sign and start seeing it as a green light. When fear says it is too risky, you say, this is where I grow. When fear says they might judge you, you say, let them. I'm not doing this for them. When fear says, what if you fail? You say, what if I fly? That's the warrior within talking. That's the voice you need to amplify. Because the more you listen to that voice, the quieter fear becomes. And don't expect perfection. You're going to hesitate sometimes. You're going to fall back into doubt. That's normal. But every time you push through fear, even just a little, you build momentum, you build belief. You prove to yourself that you're stronger than your emotions. And over time, that builds confidence. That builds power. That builds a life that's no longer ruled by what ifs and worst case scenarios, but by boldness, action, and truth. You don't overcome fear in one big leap. You overcome it one decision at a time. You face it in the small moments, when you hit send on that email, when you speak up in that meeting, when you say yes to that meeting, when you take the first step. It's the small wins over fear that add up to big breakthroughs. And here's the thing, you're not doing this just for you. You're breaking through fear so the people watching you, your kids, your community, your peers, can see that it's possible. So they can find their courage by watching you walk in yours. That's legacy, that's impact, that's leadership. And it starts the moment you stop letting fear hold the pen to your story. From this moment on, make a decision. Fear doesn't get to lead anymore. It doesn't get to be the loudest voice. You're walking through it. You're rising in the face of it. You're becoming who you were born to be. Not because you're fearless, but because you are faithful. And that right there is how you unleash the warrior within. Stop waiting for opportunity. Create it. That's the mindset shift that separates those who succeed from those who settle. Too many people are sitting around hoping that one day someone will discover them. That someone will knock on their door with the perfect chance, the perfect connection, the perfect opening. But life doesn't work like that. Opportunities aren't handed out like flyers. They're built, they're earned. They're created by those who refuse to wait and choose to act. We've been conditioned to think that we need someone else to give us permission. That success is something external, a lucky break, a nod of approval, an invitation to the big table. But here's the truth. You are the table. You are the opportunity. You got to stop looking outside yourself for the green light and realize you've had the keys all along. If the door isn't open, don't wait for someone to unlock it. Build your own door. If no one is handing you a seat at the table, go ahead and build your own table and bring your own chair. Because the moment you stop waiting and start creating, everything changes. There are people less talented than you, less skilled than you, doing exactly what you want to do simply because they started, simply because they didn't wait for the stars to align. They didn't wait to feel already. They looked at what they had and made the most of it. They used their phone to shoot videos. They used free tools to start their business. They networked online, built relationships, showed up, served others, and made noise. They didn't need the perfect moment. They just needed the courage to begin. And here you are, sitting on gold, sitting on potential, sitting on ideas that could change your life and maybe even change the world. But you're waiting. You're waiting for someone to pick you, validate you, fund you, recognize you. But you don't need recognition to get started. You don't need permission to begin. You just need to decide that your dream is worth more than your fear, that your purpose is worth more than your comfort zone, and that waiting is no longer an option. Do you think the people at the top just stumbled into their position? Do you think leaders, visionaries, change makers just happen to be in the right place at the right time? No, most of them created the right time. They showed up consistently. They put in the work when nobody was watching. They posted when no one was liking. They trained when no one was clapping. They invested in themselves before anyone else saw their value. They didn't wait. They worked. And because they worked, the world had no choice but to pay attention. You want to write a book? Start writing. You want to be a speaker? Start speaking. You want to build a brand? Start posting, sharing, connecting. You want to start a business? Start small, start messy, just start. Stop obsessing over perfection. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Just get in the game. Because once you move, the universe moves with you. Once you take that first step, new doors appear. Not because they were hidden, but because you weren't moving. Opportunity reveals itself to the active, not the idle. Some of you are sitting in silence with million-dollar ideas. You've got something that could impact lives, create wealth, build a legacy, but you're paralyzed by fear. Paralyzed by the lie that says you're not ready. But here's the truth. You get ready by doing. You become qualified by trying. The process shapes you. The journey grows you. But you can't grow if you stay still. You can't evolve if you keep procrastinating. So stop analyzing and start executing. Build something, test something, Launch something. Don't wait for perfect. Perfect never comes, but progress. It's always available. You weren't born to live on standby. You weren't made to wait for someone to discover your worth. You were created with the ability to build, to design, to initiate. Look around you. Everything you admire was created by someone no different than you. Someone who had an idea, took a risk, made mistakes, adjusted, and kept moving. That same power lives in you, but you gotta choose to activate it. You gotta look at your circumstances and say, this might not be ideal, but this enough to begin. You don't need a fancy degree to create opportunity. You don't need 1 million followers. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a mindset that's I'm not waiting for it. I'm building for it. I'm building it. That's the builder's mindset. That's the warrior's mindset. That's the mindset of people who don't just survive. They thrive. They don't wait for the economy to improve. They don't wait for people to believe in them. They start where they are, with what they have, and they work. And in doing so, they create momentum that leads to miracles. You've got to wake up every day and remind yourself, I am the opportunity. I am the brand. I am the business. I am the movement. Because when you think like that, you stop playing small. You stop shrinking your dream to fit your current reality. You start expanding your vision to match your potential. And once your mind expands, there's no going back. Look, waiting might feel safe. It might feel comfortable, but it's costing you time. It's costing you growth. It's costing you everything your future self is desperately praying for. So do yourself a favor. Stop playing safe. Stop waiting for someone to hand you a dream that was yours to build. Go create it. Take a risk. Make the call. Pitch the idea. Share your voice. The world doesn't need more people waiting. The world needs more people creating. And yes, you'll make mistakes. Yes, you'll fail sometimes. But failure while building is better than regret while waiting. At least when you fail, you learn. You adapt. You evolve. You evolve. But when you wait, all you do is wonder. Wonder what could have been. Wonder what might have happened. Wonder if it was ever possible. That kind of wondering turns into bitterness. Is far more painful than any failure. The most powerful people, not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who get up over and over again. The ones who fail forward. Who take every no as a setup for the next year. Who keep swinging until they land a, you got that power? You got that power. You got that grit. But you got to use it. You got to move. You got to build. Because opportunity isn't found, it's forged. So today, right now, make the choice. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more wishing. You're going to create the life you want. Brick by brick, day by day, action by action. You're going to show up like the warrior you are. You're going to stop looking around and start looking within. Because within you is every tool, every gift, every ounce of creativity you need to make it happen. You don't need the stars to align. You are the star. You don't need someone to choose you. You choose yourself. You don't need an opportunity. You create it. And once you do, the world won't be able to ignore you. When we talk about unleashing the warrior within, we must understand that warriors aren't defined by the sword they carry or the armor they wear, but by the strength of their spirit and the fire in their hearts. The 7th keynote, train like your life depends on it, because your dream does, is one of the most powerful principles for anyone aiming to transform their life. If you're serious about achieving greatness, about unlocking your full potential, about becoming the version of yourself that you're destined to be, then you must train physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as though everything is on the line, because it is. Your dream isn't just a wish or a casual goal. It's your why. It's your reason for waking up in the morning. It's the vision that keeps pulling you forward, even when life throws punches. But here's the truth. A dream without preparation is a nightmare waiting to happen. You can't expect to win a battle you didn't train for. You can't expect to be victorious when you haven't shown up day after day, putting in the work that champions do when no one's watching. Training isn't glamorous. It's not Instagram worthy most of the time. It's repetition. It's discipline. It's waking up at 4 a.m. when you don't feel like it. It's turning down distractions, saying no to excuses, and building a lifestyle around your dream. When you train like your life depends on it, you stop letting your feelings make decisions for you. You show up whether you feel like it or not. Because a warrior doesn't wait for motivation, they train in the silence of discipline. Think about an Olympic athlete. They train for 4 years for a chance that lasts just a few seconds. They sacrifice friendships, social lives, comfort, and leisure. Why? Because they believe that what's waiting on the other side of the sacrifice is worth it. That's the same mindset you need to have. Your dream, your vision for your life is your Olympics. And your training is what separates you from those who talk and those who do. Now let's be real. Some of you say you want it, but your actions scream otherwise. You say you want to build a business, but you won't study the game. You say you want to be a great speaker, but you won't speak unless someone is clapping. You say you want to change lives, but you won't even change your own habits. If you want it, then prove it. Train like your life depends on it. Read the books. Practice the skills. Master your craft. Study your competitors. Learn from your failures. Break your own limitations. This is what warriors do. When I say train like your life depends on it, I'm not just talking about your professional goals either. I'm talking about your relationships, your health, your mental wellness, your spiritual growth. Train in every area of life. You can't afford to be a weak man with a strong career or a successful woman with a broken spirit. You've got to train holistically. Strength in one area can't cover weakness in another for too long. It will catch up with you. Let's take it even deeper. Every day that you choose comfort over growth, every time you procrastinate instead of push, every moment you give your time to distractions instead of discipline, you are voting against your dream. You're telling the world, oh, my comfort matters more than my call. And that's not the mindset of a warrior. That's not how legacy is built. Legacy is forged in the fire of daily grind. It's built in the gym when no one's watching. It's formed in silence through tears, pain, setbacks, and perseverance. Some of the greatest people in the world trained in obscurity. Nobody saw the late nights. Nobody saw the sacrifices. But it was in those moments that their success was being sculpted. You want to be a legend. You want to leave your mark. Then don't just train when you're inspired. Train like it's your oxygen. Make it your oxygen. Make it your non-negotiable. Wake up and grind. Not once in a while, every single day. Because you don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your training. You need to ask yourself today, am I training like I actually want what I say I want? Or am I just wishing for it? Waiting for luck to show up and bless me. Warriors don't wait for luck. They prepare so hard that when opportunity shows up, they don't flinch. They don't hesitate. They seize it because they've been training for it, because they're ready. And listen, training won't feel good most of the time. You'll doubt yourself. You'll be exhausted. You'll want to quit. That's when it really matters. That's when you separate yourself from the masses. Most people give up when it gets uncomfortable. But you're different. You keep going. You train through the pain. You train through the confusion. You train through the heartbreak. That's the heart of a warrior. Let me give you this. Your dream has a cost, and the price is non-negotiable. It's the hours you put in, the tears you shed, the fear you overcome, and the resilience you build. But here's the promise. The reward is worth it. The life you want, the purpose you were born for, the impact you were destined to make. It's on the other side of your preparation. It's on the other side of your training. So stop saying someday. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Start training now. Wake up with urgency, execute with excellence, go to war with your weaknesses. Push past your pain threshold. Every single day, become 1% better. Because your dream is counting on you. Your family is counting on you. The world is waiting on you to unleash the warrior within. Train like your life depends on it, because it does.